that's right. One sprinkled donut, please. Oh, this is when he gets the auto dialer. He becomes Happy Dude.
That's right. Someone doing something racist.
We should probably do a show. You know what episode it is?
Oh, this one. Oh, no. The nice one? The nicest episode? Inappropriate, Greg. Inappropriate.
Can I borrow a feeling? Oh, ho, mercy.
What happens in this video that you're watching?
Dude, watch it.
I don't wanna.
Dude.
I don't wanna.
It's not gory or anything. Dude,
Just
it's worth it.
Carolina Flynn, like, flipping out and breaking stuff.
Mm-hmm. Dude, watch it. It's an old man. It's, like, to the point, like, normally I think those things are fake.
Right.
Hey, how to sing blues, baby. The shot glass in your hand.
Yes, y'all. It is DCTF Live for the first time in the official football offseason. This is the farthest point we are from more meaningful football. Sad days. Sad days. My name is Greg Tepper, managing editor of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. I'm sitting at this desk. At that desk is the other guy.
Hi, Greg.
Max Thompson.
How's it going?
It's going well.
Yeah?
It's going well. We saw each other yesterday.
We did.
And so Max brought food over. The way we do the Super Bowl party. First of all, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It
let's
is
backtrack. Let's backtrack. Let's sell the whole thing, right?
Monday, February 8th, 2016, episode number 69.
Nice.
Nice. So yesterday, of course, the Super Bowl. A little bit, we're going to be talking a lot about the Super Bowl today, and then in a bit, we're going to be talking. I did some more deep diving on the enrollment numbers for the UIL realignment, what it means, what it doesn't mean, etc. We'll kind of go in through that kind of stuff. So yesterday was a Super Bowl. We had a Super Bowl party at my house, as we are wont to do. You and your lovely wife came over, among many other people, including Twitter celebrity tweet groups is there.
Oh, national treasure.
National treasure.
Tweja.
National treasure
We
tweet
should call him
groups.
that, too.
I know.
Yeah.
National treasure tweet groups was there. Many other friends were there. It was a lot of fun. You brought food.
I
As
did.
we do the thing where it's like kind of BYOB, BYOF
You
and
did.
stuff.
And there were a lot of good foodstuffs.
We had a nice, impressive spread. I thought it was a good spread.
Yeah.
But Max's food won rave reviews from the masses.
as it always does.
You brought gumbo.
From scratch, baby.
You brought from scratch gumbo.
Made the roux myself.
Which
weren't no roux mix.
which was very good. Very good. Spicy enough.
spicy enough.
Spicy enough. The thing with gumbo is that sometimes it becomes a stupid competition of who can make the most wild, crazy, like guts on fire gumbo.
It's got to be a dance.
Yeah,
you got to dance with the gumbo.
Yeah, you got to be like, ooh, that's spicy, and now it's gone.
Yeah.
Good job. Excellent gumbo.
Yeah.
And then you made the I don't
Dirt.
remember. Dirt.
I called you before or texted you before and asked, I'm torn between complicated dessert, easy food, complicated food, easy dessert. Went with complicated food, easy dessert. Dirt is basically just this Oreo cookie mishmash of French vanilla pudding, whipped cream, cream cheese, butter, powdered sugar, and a buttload of Oreos. Oh, and a bunch of Cool Whip. Yeah.
It was really good. We had a nice spread. It was.
The
it was a lot of
interesting
good
thing,
food.
I don't know if you heard, Carrie was very excited about buffalo chicken dip. Carrie didn't know that existed.
Oh, that's a big
That
player
was
in
her
our household.
first. That was her first exposure to it, and she made many trips to the buffalo chicken
That's a
dip.
big. That's a big player, I think, in the Midwest
Right.
because I know
Right.
that my in-laws are big into the buffalo chicken dip. It was good. The food, of course, is always good. The company was good. Let's dive in to the Super Bowl because there was a lot of, even though it was two teams from outside of Texas, in a game being played in California, it seemed like there was a really, really Texas flair to it. A lot of Texans involved.
It was a good day for Texans.
First of all, the MVP, Von Miller,
The man. The
and a worthy MVP. I think that
The
he
legend.
was. Now, let's take a step back here. First of all, I don't think it was a very good game.
It was awful.
It was an
if you
ugly,
like to see,
and that's not to say because I think defensive games
Yeah.
can be really fun and really good.
Sure.
This wasn't. I didn't feel like this was a case where the defenses were so overwhelmingly good.
right.
It just seemed like the offenses were.
Blech.
Yeah.
But that's what happens when good defenses play.
I guess that's right.
I mean, look, we can sit here and say there weren't a bunch of big plays,
Mm-hmm.
and we weren't sitting there jaws agape at big plays.
No.
But, that strip sack,
Sure,
and touchdown, that's a huge play.
that's a huge
big play.
Of course, from Von Miller. Von Miller.
So
I didn't think that it was a particularly. There were long stretches where nothing happened, and that's not to say that I need constant action,
right.
but at the same time, I need the threat of action, and I didn't feel like there was a lot of that. I thought that Von Miller was far and away the best player on the field last night. He was out of control. First of all, it's clear that they drew up a game plan where he was going to be solely responsible for Cam Newton.
Right.
They said, you're going to have to run with him. You're basically spying him, and then when we send you on a blitz, you better get home. And he did.
Yep.
I think it was 2.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles.
Right. And I think it's the second time he's recorded that many sacks in a game this playoffs.
Of course, Von Miller, the DeSoto product.
Yeah.
He is the first Texas high school football player to win the Super Bowl MVP since Drew Brees from Austin Westlake. So it's been 5, 6, 7. When was that? That was I don't even remember what year that was. That was
09?
09. So it's been 7 years. Yeah,
no,
6.
It was after that.
It was the 2010 Super Bowl.
2010 Super Bowl for the 09 season.
Yeah, Super Bowl 44. So Drew Brees, first time that he's also, of course, a Texas A&M Aggie.
Yeah.
Hullabaloo, connect. The Aggies bring home a Super Bowl MVP. The first time that a Texas college football player has won the MVP since Larry Brown did it for the Cowboys in 1996 in Super Bowl 30.
Noted horned frog.
Yes. So he's the first Texan to do that. So congratulations. Congratulations to the Broncos and congratulations to Von Miller.
And congratulations to A&M
because also, hey,
the head
Gary
coach.
Kubiak.
Yeah.
The guy fired by the Texans 2 years ago is now a Super Bowl champion coach.
Not bad.
He joins Elite Company. He is the of course he's a guy who played at A&M.
Right.
And I believe he's the first first guy to ever play college football in Texas to then win a Super Bowl. I think that's right.
Okay.
He is on the cover of the 1982 edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football.
Somewhere in this office.
It's in here.
Okay.
Of course. One of my favorite covers with him turning and pitching it out.
Right.
He's the 1982 cover boy of Dave Campbell's Texas Football. And, he's a Texas high school football guy himself. Played at Houston St. Pius.
Who knew?
And he is the third guy to play Texas high school football to then coach a Super Bowl winner, joining Jimmy Johnson and Tom Landry. So high praise there for Gary Kubiak. And then, of course, let's also not forget the guy who probably is most single-handedly responsible for the fact that we were saying Super Bowl champion Denver Broncos.
Wade Phillips, man.
Good
for Wade Phillips.
Yeah.
Good for Wade Phillips for turning that around.
Of course, Wade Phillips, a Port Neches Groves product, and he went to Houston.
Cougs.
This is, I think I feel good for Wade Phillips. This is a guy who's been dragged through the mud. Here in Dallas, he was kind of a laughing stock. Unfairly, I think so. He's obviously a brilliant defensive mind, and I thought that the game plan they drew up for the Panthers last night was brilliant. I thought it was a fantastic game plan, and they shut him down. Cam Newton looked visibly frustrated that they couldn't get things going. Now, a few other thoughts on the game itself. I think it clearly showed the biggest detriment for Carolina, which was they don't have any receivers.
Right.
I mean,
so many drop passes.
So many plays that should have been made, and so many opportunities to beat a man one-on-one, and they couldn't. They couldn't beat a man one-on-one.
Right.
And so when the running game doesn't get going,
right,
which it didn't, then that puts you back in a 2nd and 8, gets you behind the chains, and then you got to take to the air. And Denver's got a good enough defense where they're not going to let that happen. And especially going up against a subpar receiving core.
Right.
We both picked Carolina. But I remember also saying on Friday's show, I was like, this also feels like one of those games where everything's heading in one direction.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a surprise if
you
it went
caught
the
on
other
to
way.
that, and I I don't think am I surprised? Not really.
No, I don't know.
I don't think Denver winning was a surprise scenario for me.
I mean, they're the AFC champions. You know,
the numbers bear out. One of the best defenses we've seen in the last 25 years.
Yeah, it's a remarkable defense.
How could you be surprised?
Yeah, a remarkable defense, which, by the way, also full of Texans. Aqib Talib made his presence felt early, mostly because of penalties.
Yeah.
But, he was out there the whole game, doing work for the Broncos. Overall, there's going to be a lot written about Peyton Manning. Boy, I didn't think their offense was very good at all.
They didn't have to be.
I mean, that's the thing. This reminded me of that Ravens team that won the Super Bowl. Like, it was just kind of a bus driver situation where he didn't need to do anything special, and he didn't. I thought he was very, very average.
Yeah.
But I think that they are worthy champions. What did you think of the halftime show? No. You're not into it?
No.
Not into it.
I'm not, as someone who is not into any halftime shows.
Yeah.
Even I was sitting there going, wow, this feels forced.
Well, it's clear that what happened was they had Coldplay out there, and Coldplay is a big enough name, but I think they realized after the fact, they're like, oh, wait, most of their good songs are really like slow, plodding,
like happy, joyous, love, weird.
Yeah.
It's not entertaining.
No, not at all.
I'm not gonna, knock the Coldplay bandwagon is like another show, another day. I'm not even gonna do that. It's just that's not a Super Bowl halftime.
No.
Band.
When that first came out, I was like, okay, so they're gonna play Viva La Vida, which is like an upbeat song.
Yeah.
But then they'll play that Paradise song, which is not even an upbeat song. It's just more upper beat, I guess.
And then they played the song that he wrote about Gwyneth Paltrow being upset when her parents died or something like that. Like, what the hell?
It was a really bizarre. So then it's clear that the people in charge were like, all right, we got to fix this.
We need to save this.
So they bring out Bruno Mars, and my position on Bruno Mars is pretty clear.
Okay.
I'm not into his music.
Sure.
I think his music's pretty meh.
I believe I tweet documented your exact thoughts on Bruno Mars when he came out.
But that dude is supremely talented. And you can look at him and be like, all right, that dude knows what he's doing. Yeah. He can sing.
I believe what I quoted you as on Twitter was, oh, Bruno Mars. I got love for Bruno Mars.
I do got love for Bruno Mars.
Okay.
I got love for him. That dude's talented.
All right.
Real recognize real. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Can you not see that he's talented?
I'm not saying he's not talented. I don't know if I would have said that about him, but okay.
I don't really understand where you're going with this.
Nah, just it was more enthusiastic than I would ever be about Bruno Mars,
okay.
Despite acknowledging how talented he is.
You've also got to remember that my wife really loves Bruno Mars.
That's because they're the same height.
That's also true. He is tiny. But it's clear they had to bring out something to pop that, to give
She's
some
like,
pop.
oh, one of my people. I support him wholeheartedly.
So they bring out Bruno Mars. He does his thing. And then, of course, they bring out our queen. Like, if there were a...
Your queen. Ain't my queen.
Whoa. Hey, that's Texas's own.
It's not my problem. It's not my problem.
Wow.
Yeah.
They bring out Beyonce.
It's fine.
They bring out Bey once.
Sure.
And she does her new song or whatever. I mean, honestly, she is probably the most popular American.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
You comfortable going there?
No, that's fair.
I think so.
Yeah.
Like, even people like us, kind of on the same Bruno Mars thing.
Right.
Even people like us who don't listen to Beyonce.
Right.
We're not like, ooh,
sure.
all right, gotta listen to that. You like, she comes out, you're like, yep, she's pretty awesome.
That's who should be out there right now.
Yeah, and she's married, and she's married to Jay-Z and,
right.
and all that. So they bring her out kind of in an effort to just save the thing. And it was fine. You know, it's almost like if the whole Super Bowl halftime show were Bruno Mars and Beyonce, we'd all be like, you know what, that was pretty good. Not bad.
Right. Previous shows that have been those two people have been great. So that's why they were thrown in there as the
So why is
life
Coldplay
preservers.
out there? Like, there's no reason for Coldplay to be out there at all.
There really wasn't.
I know that there's a lot of talking going on, and I've got to catch up on any of the commercials. Did any of the commercials really stand out to you?
No, they were not good.
I didn't think there wasn't that one that everyone's talking about.
And Carrie was outraged that the Budweiser saga between the guy and the girl and the puppy and the horse
That's
did not
really
continue
weird.
after 2 years.
That's really, really
She was
weird.
extremely upset that did not continue.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I don't get invested in the commercials very much.
Sure.
I know that there are people who like that's the reason they watch it. They watch it for the commercials.
I don't think she ever cared at all, except those commercials came out and it had like everything, like a love story and a puppy and a horse, and it was like all the things.
Speaking of puppies, we did watch a little bit of the Puppy Bowl on Animal Planet.
You are outraged.
I got to tell you,
MVP decision at the Puppy Bowl.
I thought the MVP decision was a travesty.
Oh man.
I thought it was ridiculous that they did not give it to Darby the Jack Russell. Darby the Jack Russell in the first quarter comes out and scores 2 touchdowns.
Sure.
Sets the tone for
Right.
Teen Fluff.
Right.
Sets the tone.
Right. Yeah.
And then they give it to someone else, a star, a Chow Chow Labrador mix. What are we even doing here, people? What are we even doing
It'd
here?
be kind of like if they'd given the MVP award last night to Peyton.
Can we all? I know it really would be.
It was really just we felt like we should do this, even though it's not the right decision.
Even though Darby was clearly head and shoulders better than Star was. I thought the Puppy Bowl MVP decision was terrible.
A lot of airing of grievances right now.
The other thing, boy, that thing prints money.
Super Bowl?
The Puppy Bowl.
Oh, the Puppy Bowl. Sure. Okay.
I mean, the advertisements that they have all over the place are
Right.
pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Which makes sense because you know that people are going to tune in. It's
Yeah.
now, that was the 12th Puppy Bowl. It's been around for 12 years.
That is surprising. It's been around that long. Wow. Okay.
But I mean, they've got all these sponsored segments where it's like if a dog pees, they bring out the special vacuum
Yeah.
that cleans it up.
Yeah.
It was really remarkable. Overall, it was. We mentioned it. It was just kind of a boring Super Bowl. I think overall, I thought
Sure.
that it was just kind of run of the mill. Especially, I think we've been spoiled. Last year's Super Bowl was out of control, good, down to the wire, amazing. This one just wasn't. And we didn't have that big fourth quarter push. I'll tell you that when Cam got the ball down 6 with 5 minutes left.
Here we go.
Here comes
this is
the-
going to be good.
Here
and
comes
it was
the
a complete dud.
Here comes the hero drive.
On stat was 2nd and 9. He throws wide to the sideline, and I went, "Wow, this is just not going to happen tonight."
Yeah, I can't. It was weird. It was weird. Like it felt like we were all waiting for something to happen that never did, and it was just okay. Here they come. Nope, never mind. Oh yeah. Nope, never mind. Anyway, what did you think of the Super Bowl? Congratulations to the Broncos. Congratulations to all the Texans on the Broncos.
Right.
A big day for them, and a worthy victor, I think. I don't think there's any doubt about it.
That's fair.
We are DCTF Live. We are here every weekday at noon on TexasFootball.com. Subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. I don't think we're having a show Friday. Is that correct?
No, that is not correct. I am in the process of figuring out
A guest host.
who's going to be hosting this show with me while you're
Awesome.
gone. But
Fantastic.
you are welcome to tell everyone that you are going to be gone.
I'm going to be gone. So if you only tune in for me, then Monday or Friday and Monday.
Don't worry, our viewership will drop dramatically without you.
I will explain. I'll table this for a little bit later, or a little later in the week as to why I'll be gone. But we will be gone.
All right.
So one thing that came out in the massive news week that was last week, you had, of course, National Signing Day last Wednesday, and now you have, and last Monday, a week ago, we had UIL realignment. The new alignments, the new districts were released from the UIL, and with those things, we've talked about how one of the things we really like about UIL realignment is it is just a bunch of data that's given to you.
No question.
And you can splice it and dice it and make it into whatever you want. And there's just a lot to digest, which is fun for us. That's kind of what we like.
Yeah.
I like when you give me I'm the guy that if you give me a box score, I'm happy. I'm the kid who was reading baseball box scores.
What can these numbers tell me?
Right.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of different so there's a lot of things to break down, and one of the things is we can take a look at the first time in 69 episodes I've ever sneezed on the air.
Oh no.
We can look at the enrollment numbers, okay? We can look at the enrollment numbers because to break down again what this means in 6A and 5A. So let's go through how realignment works for
right.
the first thing.
All right.
Every school in the UIL turns in an enrollment number, and then the UIL will go through and they will divide them by class. So if you are 2,149 kids and above, you are class 6A. And then there's 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, 1A. Okay? And they divide them into districts from there. In 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A, they are pre-divided into divisions. There's 4A Division 1 and 4A Division 2. There's 16 districts in each one. 4A Division 1, 4A Division 2. In 6A and 5A, they are not pre-divided. And what happens is that the top 4 teams from each district make the playoffs. And then of those 4 teams, you then go, okay, those 2 are the 2 largest enrollment schools. They're going to the Division 1 bracket. And then the 2 smaller schools are going to the Division 2 bracket. Those 2 brackets don't interact. Okay? That's how that works.
Fair enough.
So as we take a look at UIL realignment and what it all means, one thing to keep an eye on is the enrollment numbers, because they can tell us what brackets places are going to go, or teams are going to go. So the first thing I noticed when I was diving through these things is that just because you're dropping down doesn't automatically mean you're Division 1. And just because you're moving up doesn't mean you're automatically Division 2.
Yeah,
because that would, in theory, make you the smallest team in the district. Go ahead.
The latter part is easier to understand. Like, I can buy that easier, but the going down and not automatically being D1, harder to grasp, so I'll let you dive into that.
So I'll give you a perfect example, okay? So let's take a look at teams that are dropping down. So Midlothian, okay? Midlothian is dropping from 6A down to 5A, and they're in the district with Mansfield Summit, Mansfield Lake Ridge, Waxahachie. They're the second smallest team in that district, okay?
And I assume this is just because the other teams got bigger.
Because you've got 4 teams, Summit, Lake Ridge, Waxahachie, and Mansfield Legacy, that are over 2,000 kids. Yeah. Plus Lancaster, who's 1,900, and Red Oak, who's 1,880.
Okay.
So the fact that Midlothian, they drop, they turn in a number of 1,824.
Wow. Right.
Their only Timberview is smaller than them.
Huh.
There's a few other cases of that where you've got small schools that are dropping. Now, down in the Houston area, Houston Milby's kind of an interesting situation. They're that same situation. But just because you're dropping doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be you're going to be dropping down, or you're going to be in Division 2. So the same thing goes where if you're moving up, that doesn't automatically mean that you're going to be Division 2. McKinney, for example. McKinney's moving up from 5A to 6A, but they turn in 2743. That only makes them the third biggest team in that, third smallest team in that district. So if Denton, Geyer, and Wiley both make the playoffs, then all of a sudden they're going to Division 1.
Yeah.
You're going from 5A to Division 1.
Yeah.
That's pretty remarkable stuff. Now there's a lot of instances where you are going to do it. For example, Lufkin's the smallest team in their district. They're definitely going to Division 2.
Right.
But that's just one thing to keep an eye on.
Okay.
Another thing to keep an eye on is that these new schools that we're going to have that are being introduced and starting to play football this year, they're already having a big effect. For example, there's a new school opening out in El Paso Pebble Hills. Okay, they are at 26-22. That makes them the 4th largest team in that district. No, I mean, I think that you think about teams like that. You think about new schools and say, oh, well, they're going to be the smallest teams. That's not the case, especially there. So they could go Division 1, they could go Division 2, even though they are new, a new school. Another example, Denton Braswell. Denton Braswell is opening, and they're going to be the 3rd smallest school in District 5. So they're almost certainly going to go to Division 2.
Right.
But that could push a team like Wichita Falls Ryder into Division 1.
Yeah.
Northwest Eaton. If you go out here in the DFW area, out to the northwest part of the state, or the Metroplex, you're going to find the Northwest Eaton. It's Hazlitt Eaton is opening a new school. They're already at 1964. They're almost a 6A team.
It's just crazy that these schools are launching with these kinds of enrollments right out of the gate.
Frisco Reedy, it's got 1832, and Frisco is that school district that always, whenever they get to a certain point, they just open another school.
We're gonna have 12.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're ever gonna keep track of all.
We're not. We're just simply not. So then there were two other things that struck me while we were doing it. And the big headline that I'm surprised there hasn't been a whole lot more written about it. Katie's going to Division I. That's
kind of a big deal.
That's locked and loaded.
Yeah.
It's happening, okay? Katie's the second biggest team in District 19.
Yeah.
Only Katie Morton Ranch is bigger than them.
Right.
So if they make the playoffs, they're going to Division I.
Yeah.
You know, that's been all the talk. Oh, we want to see Katie against Allen. Oh, we want to see Katie against Galena Park North Shore. We want to see Katie against the big boys. Well, you're going to get your chance now.
Here they come.
Katie's going to Division I. That's happening. There's no way around it. They are the second biggest school in that district. They are going to the Division I bracket. So there's that. And that's a big deal because when you think about, for example, think about Galena Park North Shore. Galena Park North Shore came out of Region 3. That's where they came from.
Right.
In Division I. They didn't have to go through Katie. Now you're going to have Katie going up against the big boys. That's kind of what we've wanted to see, which is, I think it's going to be great. I'm really excited about it. I want to see that. The other thing that caught my eye is that Aledo is definitely going to Division II. So Aledo has always been, in the past couple of years, has been a mystery because they were right in the middle. We didn't know if they were going to go to Division I or Division II. Well, they are the smallest school in District 6, okay? That's that Justin Northwest,
right.
which drops down from 6A. Northwest Eaton, Saginaw, Azle. They're definitely going to Division II, which bodes well for them because almost all of their championships, with the exception of their most recent one in 2014, all of them have been as a Division II school.
Right.
They've only won one Division I championship. The rest of them have come in Division II. Right. And that was a big talking point when that came out in 2014 that they were going to Division I. We're like, oh, wow, well, they've never won a D1 title. Mm-hmm. Well, they did that time, but this is an instance where, we've got an Aledo team that at 1594 is the smallest school in that district. They're definitely going to Division I, or Division II, rather, which...
we've kind of gotten used to seeing him there.
We have.
But it's strange that they're not growing more.
Yeah, it is odd that but you think about the way that it's the way that it kind of sets up. That is probably that's probably a good thing because they're going for Aledo because they're going to duck Denton Ryan. Okay, in Region 1, they're going to duck Denton Ryan. They're going to duck the Lubbock schools. They're ducking Amarillo. They're not going to have to play Colleyville Heritage.
Right.
Those big schools are definitely going to Division I. But, there are going to be schools that they will have to go through. Wichita Falls Ryder maybe on the horizon in Division I. I think in past years, Division II has been a little tougher overall, but most of that have come from the other side of the bracket. Teams that they wouldn't play until a state championship.
Till the very end. Yeah.
Teams like Cedar Park.
Right.
But in this instance, there's no mystery about Aledo.
No.
We know that they're going to Division II, which that's one less thing we need to think about. So, what do you think of UIL realignment? Are there anything when you look at the enrollment numbers that really stick out to you? Let us know at #DCTF Live. Tomorrow, we'll probably have a show. I don't know who's going to be on it. We'll probably
it'll be fun. We'll figure it out.
If you want to be on the show, tweet me, I guess. It is the football offseason. We promise you we will get you through it. We're in this together.
We got some fun things coming. We're going to have some
fun.
fun.
We are going to have some fun.
Yeah, we'll keep you entertained.
That's going to do it for today. Thank you for tuning in, spending part of your day with us. Happy Super Bowl Monday. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell. And, of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Vince Young, please come get your Player of the Year trophy. And we will see you tomorrow on DCTF Live.